Welcome everyone to the CGB Mentors family, and we have a very special guest, Nikhil Sharma, who's recently cleared SIDBI Grade A examination. So, Nikhil, a very congratulations from CGB Mentors team.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much.
So,
You've been very kind because I saw your lectures actually. So it's just I'm privileged actually to have a conversation with you, and it's just a very good feeling to have. Yeah.
no, we are just the facilitator. At the end, all the hard work that you've done, that is, helping, that has helped you get selected. So, how are you
Yeah.
feeling?
Absolutely fine, sir. After a very long time, I would say I've cleared an examination. I'm preparing for a very long time. So CB Grade B was never in plan. I was not aware. So that this opportunity might rise at a certain point of time. So this
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely right now for me. When the result came out, this was an absolute surprise for me that I could be part of another institution at this particular age. So it's great.
Very well done. So, Nikhil, just a brief introduction about your whole background, if you just want to tell.
Sir, actually, initially from my officially, I would say, like say, let's suppose my official, I started with the working in Canara Bank from
Mhm.
2017. I'm a Delhi born, so I started with Canara Bank. I worked there for 5 months as a probationary officer, and after that, I joined India Post Payments Bank
Okay.
in 2018. So
Mhm.
since last 7 years, I'm working in India Post Payments Bank, and I handle multiple job roles there, which even actually helped me, which I'll come across later on in getting that this job. So currently serving as assistant manager in India Post Payment Bank.
Okay.
That's
So it was a good experience, close to, 7.5 years experience.
absolutely,
That
sir, absolutely.
definitely would have played a huge role in your selection,
Yes, sir.
which we'll
Yeah, obviously. Yes, yes, absolutely.
yes, yes. So we'll discuss it later on in the interview stage. But how did you come across this examination and what was your initial strategy with respect to the phase one?
So initially, strategy was because I've been part of CGB Mentors now, CrackGradeB for a very long time. So I have
Mhm.
prepared with RBI for RBI with CGB Mentors actually, CrackGradeB. So I was aware of the content. The moment the
Okay.
opportunity came, and I looked at my experience, it was 5 years required, so I thought I'm eligible.
Yes.
So to be, this is not for everyone. Like I'm promoting something or saying something. I'm just saying it with my absolute what do you call honesty that I knew the moment that I'm applying for examination. I bought the course just after the notification, filling up the form, and just absolutely stuck with whatever CGP provided. For prelims, I was aware about the qualifying sections and non-qualifying sections. So what I did was I was aware since I've been waiting for a very long time. So I was aware about reasoning, maths, and English. So I prepared enough. So I prepared like I will give a mock or two in
Mhm.
in last days for the qualifying sections, and I'll read the material for not for merit sections and the GA MSME section and these two sections. So I stuck with that only for 100 marks, and for the remaining I stuck with mocks only, and that too 1 or 2 mocks. So this was the strategy initially.
Okay. Okay, so basic idea in this case is, see, students, find this a little bit difficult with respect to managing all these different sections. So how was your approach in the examination per se? When the all the questions come. So were you like, selecting questions in general and then attempting, or just, some students prefer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they move
No,
on
sir.
like that.
Actually, no. After giving a lot of exam, I've realized that while giving any examination, uh, psychologically, it's very hard to say a psychological word because I'm not a doctor or something like this, but I can say one thing, that you need confidence in exam also, and adaptability in the situations. So while giving the exam, I figured it out that you have to see all the questions once. Like, you can do some questions like in a 30 or 20 seconds by just reading it up. So do that one first, and then let's suppose there was a numerical. Although there was no numerical, I was expecting one or two easy numericals or something was like that. I don't remember exactly was there any one numerical or not, but I was thinking that I will not do the numerical part. I will do the theory part, and that too जो कि मैं बहुत जल्दी और बहुत थोड़े समय में जल्दी से पढ़ के कर सकता हूँ. Then coming
Mm-hmm.
back again, same thing and doing that again, and that's how I did up almost all the questions, because since I was preparing from, I had stuck with one material only and read it multiple times. So prelims, while giving the examination, I was sure about the merit section part, except GA, because for GA I did 100 MCQs only, and GA was not. I was not sure about my GA section while giving the
Mm-hmm.
examination. So worry. For rest, I was preparing this only. It's selecting a question, reading it up. If it is done in 10 to 20 seconds, do it, and then move on to next. If you cannot do it right now, you'll come back again. Mark it up and come back again.
Yes, wonderful. See, even though you said that you're not expert on psychology, but I feel like all the aspirants, after giving so much examination, they learn a lot more about psychology. So that,
Yes,
anyways, is
yes,
there. Yeah. So
yes.
this was with respect to phase one. So when the results came, so were you preparing, before the results came for the phase two, or after the phase? What were your thoughts about, and how did you approach phase two specifically?
Sir, actually, what I have to take the name, not the name, but I have to thank my friend also. We were two people in the same institution preparing for the same examination. So that helped me a lot. So what we were doing is, for prelims we studied together. So we completed the syllabus, and the result came for this mains on, I guess, just 12 to 15 days before the mains examination. So since I prepared well for the prelims, I was aware that, like, even if I could repeat the same thing again or section
Mm-hmm.
again, so I'm good with the objective part. For subjective, since I couldn't practice the writing part, so I just stuck with model answers,
Mm-hmm.
which is provided by the CGB. So I just read everything, like, for a hypothetical, or so it's not hypothetical. For example, I can say that AIF, I was aware about the alternate investment funds. Since I have to write about that, that's a three category. So let's suppose I was imagining that if there is a question about AIF only, and I have to
Mm-hmm.
write about 1, 2, 3, then figure out. Then you have to learn. You have to write in a certain way. So since model answers were there, so I was reading actually and how you can write it up and what exactly is the difference, basic difference. So that is something I prepared in last 12 days of mains. Prelims I was sure, so I was repeating the same content for the what I did for the prelims, and then
Mm-hmm.
just reading the model answers and writing few points just in case that question arises, and I'll write it up. That's the thing.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. So basically, objective, I suppose, because you were already well prepared for prelims, and that helped you in phase two. So with
Yes, sir.
respect to descriptive, what would you, give suggestions to the future aspirants, that how do they see descriptive, not only in terms of preparation, but also in terms of performance in the main examination?
So this is something after giving a lot of mains examination from RBI Nabad also. So I can,
Yes.
although this is something which is overlooked by the people. So one thing I will suggest people or anyone who is preparing for mains examination, although people might say that this might not be it, but it makes a difference. You should have a very good writing speed. And why I'm saying this, because so typing speed. My apologies. Because what it gives to you, uh, when you give any mains examination, people start typing tick tick, then you
Yes.
आपको stress आ रहा है, you just get little stress.
Yes.
People just immediately start writing answer, and most of the times those are not good answers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you're very good at typing, and in most of the examination you are given enough time to type most of the times. So if you give 2 3 minutes or 5 minutes by reading the question, and just mentioning few points what exactly you want to write, that solves a lot of problem. Then it gives a proper, what do you call it, a format of writing an answer. Since so you are a UPSC aspirant, you're pretty much aware of writing up
Yeah.
uh,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
1,000 answers. So that is something I came across while writing. So while in this examination, for other people I can see this, but for this examination there was a choice between subjective questions. There were multiple questions, so there was few questions who had 5 parts.
Mhm.
So my
Okay.
uh, so I picked those questions because I was aware I could write 2 to 3 lines
Yes.
about each one of them. And if I couldn't write for one sort of for one question or one part,
Mhm.
anything, so it will not be so. Let's I can get one mark. Let's hypothetically in 5 parts I can get one mark. So it will be 5 marks.
Definitely.
So instead
Yes.
of
Yes.
focusing on a very long answer, I just stuck to few points and then wrote the answer. So that helped me in my main examination. I'm giving too long answers, but I'm just trying to cover it up as fast as I can.
No, this is not a long answer, and all those points that you mentioned is very much correct. See, this is also what we teach in the class itself. Ki, you will if you start typing without any thought, you will stop just after one paragraph.
Yes, yes, yes,
That's why it's essential that you make a framework and then you write it or
yes,
type it in this case. And second thing, you've told a very wonderful strategy, because if we do part wise, at least we are hopeful that some marks we will be able to get in those different parts,
yes,
and
sir.
cumulatively it will help us. That's a very sound strategy. Wonderful. So, and now, with respect to interview,
Yes,
when you
sir.
got the news that you cleared this phase two examination, so
Yes, sir.
first of all, how did you feel, and then what was the approach with respect to interview?
So I was actually happy. I have given certain interviews in the past also.
Mm-hmm.
I've given uh, one interview for the RBI
Mm-hmm.
Grade B. So and
Mm-hmm.
that was not a very good experience. So I was, to very true, I was tense. I was
Oh,
my
yes.
negative thoughts were there. I was like, I couldn't be again. I'll be rejected and something which is quite common to have.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Then, so what I did was, since they wanted experienced guys, so I was pretty much sure that they will ask profile-based questions. Since I had
Yes.
no lending experience, so I was pretty much sure that they might ask question related to lending, or even they want to get certain bit of idea that if he or she knows something about this or not. And the good thing, or it was my day, I guess I would say that they stuck to my profile only. And then I would like to say, earlier I was saying that I was part of AML division and also of risk,
Mm-hmm.
which helped me by
Mm-hmm.
they ask questions
Yes.
related to money laundering, they ask questions related to risk management, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully I was able to answer that to their level, because questions were very easy, and
Mm-hmm.
coming across with the same thing. There was questions in the model answers also regarding Basel norms, the
Yes.
difference between Basel 1 and Basel 3, and this was the exact
Mm-hmm.
question they asked. What is the difference between Basel 1 Basel 3?
Acha.
And so that
Good.
more answers all the theory, that helped me. So interview was profile based most of the times. Like if they
Mm-hmm.
asked me 10 questions, 7 of them were profile based. 3 question initially, they just wanted to check if some my I have certain idea what SIDBI does and what SIDBI is part of. So this was the
Mm-hmm.
reason. Exactly.
So, how did you prepare? Just mostly profile and SIDB in general.
Sir, what I did was, because I was sure that, in my opinion, I was thinking that they will ask credit-based questions or they will ask
Mm-hmm.
SIDBI. So
Mm-hmm.
I read about SIDBI website,
Mm-hmm.
what they offer, how they offer it, what they do,
Mm-hmm.
how they, what is their balance sheet, uh,
Mm-hmm.
how what is. So I read everything about SIDBI from
Mm-hmm.
whatever which was provided by CrackGradeB's team, and also through site also. I had read their
Mm-hmm.
annual report also, just for the sake of what they're doing actually, just to get the hack of it, key what exactly to ask.
Yes,
So
yes.
so these are the things that I did for the interview, and then also prepared for my profile. I was aware that they might ask questions related to risk, related to money laundering, AML,
Mm-hmm.
and the question would come up. Since I was preparing with my friends, so we both were asking questions from each other. So one question that I prepared myself was, how your experience in AML or in risk management will be helpful for us in SIDBI. And this was a question.
Mm-hmm.
How was your
Yes.
experience valuable to us? So then I provided them and then answer that the KYC is the backbone of anything that you do with a bank or within
Yes.
insurance, anything. So if you can have a person who is pretty much well versed with KYC and what exactly is required, how much it is to make, so it's a good thing to have. That helped me a lot. So some things I feel some things are pretty much, to a certain extent, are luck based, So this
Hmm.
time this was with me. So I can assure you that sometimes you prepare
So,
two. Yeah, go on, sir. So, sorry, but
so
please.
basically, at this, I want to tell to all the students, learn from Nikhil. See, even though he's saying that it is much more luck based, but see the preparation that he has done. Even though the question has not been asked related to credit based, but he has prepared that also, his profile also, SIDBI's website also. So even at the interview stage, you need to prepare well enough so that luck plays a very less role. Even though I understand luck is always there, but you prepare yourself. You come up with all the arsenal that he has done. And he's modest. That's why he's saying a little bit less something like that. Actually, so Nikhil,
Yes, sir.
one question I would want to know. See, time management is very much critical, and you are working also, and then you have to prepare for this exam also, and all these timelines are also much more restricted. In 15 days, you have mains. So, how did you manage your time for preparation along with say your job as
Sir, what I did was I just initially, because I was not preparing from last 1 year or so. So I was initially, I just planned that I will read something daily, like half an hour
well?
only,
Hmm.
like 15 minutes,
Hmm.
20 minutes, because I have to start. I cannot start with 2 hours or 2.5 hours daily. So
Hmm.
and accordingly of reading something uh, daily. And while commuting, I used to read economic news, because I was like, I need to know something about this. So these are very small things, but um, when you come across uh, uh, certain things. So I was reading while commuting, like newspaper or something, with news, just to get a hack of it, and while in the evening or in the morning. So I'm a morning
Hmm.
guy, so I study while coming to the office. I just study before and for an hour or so, and then so what I was doing was I was studying daily for half for 1 hour, 2 hours. Later on, when as the preparation goes on, I was reading approximately 2.5 hours daily after going from the office, or
Okay.
and then utilizing my Saturdays and Sundays, second and fourth Saturdays, just
Hmm.
to read more. So that this was the strategy, by reading something, not zero any day. That helps.
Hmm.
And also,
Wonderful.
what I did was, sir, I was also bifurcating my syllabus. That for med section you're required to do this, and this has this many chapters. So I used to read PDFs, something which I'm not able to understand. Then I watch the lectures. But I stuck around with like MSME section. I have to do it in 3 4 days. For financial awareness, I have to do this for 5 days, depending on the syllabus. So that's how I managed.
So you mentioned upon a very important thing, and this is I feel is very much important, and this most of the aspirants lack. That you need to have some kind of schedule, per week, 2 weeks, some kind of schedule so as to have a sense of direction in which direction you're going. So can you just share a rough idea with respect to how did you schedule for let's say 1 week what you need to prepare, or what is your idea behind
Yes.
bifurcating all these things?
Yeah, so what I did was, since I was preparing for the course, I started with MSME section. There was
Mm-hmm.
a section regarding MSME, so I was aware about what comes after it. So what I did was, uh, there was some certain section which was tough. So like IREC norms was in the syllabus, which was a tough
Yes.
part. So
Mm-hmm.
what I did, I put the toughest things in the weekends, because that required more sort of an analysis on how you're gonna write things, or how you're gonna conceptualize things. And for the easy things, like for I used to do what I similarly like MSME, I did 4 to 5 chapters in for next 1 or 2 days. Then I switched to financial awareness for next 2 to 3 days, and then
Mm-hmm.
came back again with GA
Okay.
for one day or the other. So I was not sticking to one section for a whole week. I was bifurcating it, like what happens in usual exam also. Like you're getting questions from all the sections. So I was preparing for certain section for 1 or 2 day, then the other, then the other. So I was bifurcating it that way.
That's wonderful. Definitely, I'm sure that this going to help future aspirants and or for any exam because scheduling is important for every exam that you prepare for.
Yes.
And this question: how did CGB mentors help you across all the stages? If you would like to share.
Oh,
And
this
one more question: that
yes,
why did you choose CGB only? Because there are
this
n
is
number of platforms.
this is probably this is going to be a very long answer, as although I have given very long answers, so this will be very long. I am part of not part of, but I'm with CGB from 2019. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so when it was a CrackGradeB, I prepared for 2019 RBI attempt with
Mm-hmm.
CrackGradeB. I reached
Mm-hmm.
the interview stage, so I was sure about the material, and uh, then I suggested the material to two of my friends also, who
Mm-hmm.
reached RBI interview also. So this is something my survey on the material only. So
Mm-hmm.
I knew about CGB because I was aware that your content is precise, and that is something I required. So how CGB helped me, because it's in since in Telegram nowadays a lot of people provide a lot of content, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of and has a lot of data.
Yeah.
So CGP I was aware of from 19, as I'm saying. So I have given many exams, and since I'm
Yeah.
pointing
Mm-hmm.
one more point, since you said that I came across a word as a luck, that is something I want to mention here. Why I told luck, but how I want to change my statement to a certain extent. Since I'm preparing from 2018, I would say from 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you practice, the let's suppose for a normal person, luck is like chances of getting in luck is for 10%. For a person who's preparing for a very long time, you reduce that percentage of luck from 10 to 5% or
Definitely.
3%. So that is something happened. So since I prepared for a very long time, I was aware of like what exactly you need to focus. The words I mentioned, adaptability, what I said earlier, key, which question to be target, how to
Mm-hmm.
analyze, how to
Mm-hmm.
write, how you can prepare for the means. So these all things I have prepared in last 8 years only. So CGP helped me in providing my crisp and required content. I was pretty much sure while giving the prelims examination that if my GA was, if I clear GA, I am in prelims. I have cleared the prelims.
Mm-hmm.
While in the main examination, I was again sure about my objective answers, because for me and my friend, I'm answering from his side also. We were pretty much sure that objective questions are within the syllabus. Nothing as something was outside. Since we are not very good with what do you call it? I was not very good with numerical questions, and since balance
Mm-hmm.
sheet is something not easy to understand in first few days, although I
Mm-hmm.
have prepared for CV also or other examination for a very long time, but still it was not easy. So, but the content was quite crisp, which was required. Really reading, since I read a PDF also, so I'm a man who reads PDF. I'm not gonna lie. I watch a lot of lectures. I watch your lecture on one topic of IREC norms, and one other
Mm-hmm.
topic, and but otherwise I was with PDF only. So I was reading PDFs while at home and sticking with the content only. So
Okay.
CGP mentors helped me in qualifying a lot of the examination and selection in this examination. So I'm totally thankful to this institution. I'll be very thankful for a very long time.
We are also very, we are also very happy
This
to
I'm
facilitate
since I'm prepared for
just
a very long time. I have very long answers to give. This is the problem. I so I just
but
want to
all these
help
things
people.
definitely will be helping aspirants. So don't think like that. Okay. And so any last suggestion you would want to give to aspirants? Any last thoughts?
So what I say, what I've learned in all these um, preparation of a very long time, that uh, which is something I want to tell people or anyone who is preparing is one is that uh, discipline is something which can take you miles ahead of anyone who is what do you call it, more intelligent than you, or more or what suppose we call it, very good at you as compared to somebody who is pretty average like me. So discipline is something I want people to stick with, uh, instead of reading for a few days and then leaving it for many days, and then reading for 3 4 days and leaving. It doesn't help. uh, this is something I want people, because this is something which is overlooked by for anyone. So discipline something is something I think people should have. And one more thing that I want people, anyone who is preparing, is don't stick with your negative results for very long time. You might not clear it one examination, or maybe your attempts are over. My RBI attempts are over. I gave 6 attempts. Uh, with I qualified or not qualified, failed in prelims, all things happened, and but I kept preparing for any examination I was eligible for. So if you stick with your failures and remember them and again, that's a very depressive cycle that you go on. So these are the two things. Once is over and you're not able to clear it, it's better to move on. There are better things around which might happen. And first one is to be disciplined as much as you can, whether it's your personal life or whether preparing for examination. These are the two things what I've learned in last 8 years. That's it.
So these are the most wonderful things. And with respect to the part of moving on, I can truly relate with you, because I remember somebody said this back in the day. He said कि पीछे मुड़ के सीधे नहीं चला जाता. So you do not
Yes, sir.
dwell too much on your past.
Yes, sir.
Understand from it and then move on. So that's rightly said. So again, we congratulate you from the whole
Thank you
CGB
so much,
Mentors
sir.
family,
Thank you so
and
much.
we all wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Okay,
Thank,
thanks,
thank
Nikhil.
you.